Your parents freaked when you got marked. Totally, didn't yours? Actually, my mama was okay with it. She said anything that got me out of Henrietta was a good thing. Henrietta, Oklahoma? I asked, glad to move to a subject that was not all about me. Sadly, yes. Stevie Ray flopped down on the bed in front of the Kisney Chesney poster and motioned for me to sit on the one across the room from her. I did, and then felt a little jolt of surprise when I realized that I was sitting on my cool, hot pink and green Ralph Lauren comforter from home. I looked at the little oak end table and blinked. There was my annoying, ugly alarm clock, nerdy glasses for when I'm sick of wearing my contacts, and the picture of Grandma and me from last summer. And in the bookshelves behind the computer on my side of the room, I saw my Gossip Girls and bubbled series of books, along with some of my other favorite, including Bram Stoker's Dracula, which was more than a little ironic. Some CDs, my laptop, and oh, my dear sweet Lord, my Monsters, Inc. figures. How incredibly embarrassing. My backpack was sitting on the floor next to my bed. Your grandma brought your stuff up here. She's really nice, Stevie Ray said. She's more than nice. She's brave as hell to have faced my mom and her stupid husband to get this stuff for me. I can only imagine the overly dramatic scene my mom caused. I sighed and then shook my head. Yeah, I guess I'm lucky. At least my mama was cool about all of this. Stevie Ray pointed to the outline of the crescent moon on her forehead. Even if my daddy lost every bit of his mind, me being his only baby girl and all, she struggled and then giggled. My 3 brothers thought it was awesome and wanted to know if I could help them get vampire chicks. She rolled her eyes. Stupid boys. Stupid boys, I echoed and smiled at her. If she thought boys were stupid, she and I would get along just fine. Mostly now I'm okay with all this. I mean, the classes are weird, but I like them, especially the taekwondo class. I kind of like to kick butt. She grinned mischievously like a little blonde elf. I like the uniforms, which totally shocked me at first. I mean, would anyone expect to like school uniforms? But we could add stuff to them and make them unique, so they don't like typical stuck-up, boring school uniforms. And there are some seriously hot guys here, even if boys are stupid. Her eyes sparkled. Mostly I'm just so darn glad to be out of Henrietta that I don't mind all the other stuff, even if Tulsa is kind of scary because it's so big. Tulsa isn't scary, I said automatically. Unlike too many kids from our suburb of Broken Arrow, I actually knew my way around Tulsa, thanks to what Grandma liked to call field tripping with her. You just have to know where to go. There's a great bead gallery where you can make your own jewelry downtown on Brady Street, and next door to that is Lola's at the Bowery. She has the best desserts in town. Cherry Street is cool too. We're not too far from there now. Actually, we're right by the awesome Phillybrook Museum and Utica Square. There's some excellent shopping there, and I suddenly realized that what I was saying. Did vampire kids get to mingle with regular kids? I searched my memory. No, I'd never seen kids with crescent moon outlines hanging around the Philbrook or Utica's Gap or Banana Republic or Starbucks. I'd never seen them at the movies. Hell, I'd never even seen a vampire kid before today. So would they keep us locked up here for 4 years? Feeling a little short of breath and claustrophobic, I asked, do we ever get out of here? Yeah, but there are all sort of rules you have to follow. Rules like what? Well, you can't wear any part of the school uniform. She broke off suddenly. Shoot. That reminds me. We have to hurry. Dinner is in a few minutes and you need to change. She jumped up and started to rummage through the closet that was on my side of the room, chattering at me from over her shoulder the whole time. Nefret had some clothes delivered here last night. Don't worry about the sizes not being right. Somehow they always know what size we'll be before they actually see us. It's kind of freaky how the adult vamps know way more than they should. Anyway, don't be scared. I was serious before when I said the uniforms aren't as awful as you'd think they'd be. You really can add your own stuff to them, like me. I looked at her. I really looked at her. She was wearing a pair of honest-to-God Roper jeans. You know, the kind those ag kids wear that are way too tight and have no back pockets. How anyone could think that no back pockets and tightness was cute. I'd honestly never understood. Stevie Ray was totally skinny, and the jeans even made her butt look wide. I knew before I looked at the girl's feet what she'd be wearing, cowboy boots. I glanced down inside. Yep, brown leather, flat-heeled, pointy-tipped cowboy boots. Tucked into her countrified jeans was a black, long-sleeved cotton blouse that had the expensive look of something you'd find at Saks or Neiman Marcus, versus the cheaper, see-through shirts that overpriced Abercrombie tries to make us believe aren't slutty. When she glanced over at me, I saw that she had double-pierced ears with little silver hoops in them. She turned and held out in one hand a black blouse like the one she had on, and a pullover sweater in another, and I decided that even though the country look wasn't for me, she was kind of cute with her mixture of hayseed and chic. Here you go, just throw these on over your jeans and we'll be ready. The flickering light from the cowboy boot lamp caught on a streak of silver embroidery that was on the breast of the sweater she was holding out. I got up and took the two shirts, holding the sweater up so I could see the front of it better. The silver embroidery was in the shape of a spiral that glittered around and around in a delicate circle that would rest over my heart. "It's our sign," Stevie Ray said. "Our sign?" "Yeah, each class here, they call them third formers, fourth formers, fifth formers, and sixth formers. Has their own sign. We're third formers, so our sign is the silver labyrinth of the goddess Nyx." "What does it mean?" I asked, more to myself than to her, as I traced my finger around the silver circles. "It stands for our new beginning, as we start walking the path of night and learn the ways of the goddess and the possibilities of our new life." I looked up at her, surprised that she was suddenly sounded so serious. She grinned a little shyly at me and shrugged her shoulders. "It's the first thing you learn in Vampire Sociology 101. That's a class Neferette teaches, and it sure beats the heck out of getting the boring classes I was taking at Henrietta High, home of the Fighting Hens. Fighting Hens, what kind of a mascot is that?" She took her head and rolled her eyes while I laughed. "Anyway, I heard Neferette is your mentor, which is really lucky. She's hardly takes on any new kids, and besides, being a high priestess, she's way the coolest teacher here." What she didn't say was that I'm not just lucky, I'm special. And with my weird colored-in mark, which reminded me, "Stevie Ray, why haven't you asked me about my mark?" "I mean, I appreciate you not bombarding me with 100 questions, but all the way up here, everyone who saw me stared at my mark. Aphrodite mentioned it almost the second we were alone. You haven't even really looked at it. Why?" Then she did finally look at my forehead before she shrugged and met my eyes again. "You're my roommate. I'd figure you'd tell me what was up with it when you were ready. One thing growing up in a small town like Henrietta taught me is that it's the best to mind your own business if you want someone to stay your friend. Well, we're going to be rooming together for 4 years. She paused, and in the gap between words sat the big, ugly, unsaid truth that we'd be roommates for 4 years, only if both of us survived the change. Stevie Ray swallowed hard and finished in a rush. "I guess what I'm trying to say is that I want us to be friends." I smiled at her. She looked so young and hopeful, so nice and normal, and not at all what I imagined a vampire kid would be. I felt a little stirring of hope. Maybe I could find a way to fit in here. I want to be friends, too. "Yeah, for that." I swear she looked like a wiggling puppy again. "But come on, hurry, we don't want to be late." She gave me a shove toward the door that sat between the two closets before she hurried over to the makeup mirror on her computer desk and started brushing her short hair.
Pause.